Hello, everybody. How you guys doing? Welcome back to the stream. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Ow. Okay, so this might be a very short stream as I just had a root canal today. Hickory Puff, how you doing? Hippogriff, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. But yeah, no, guys, this might be a very short stream as I had a root canal today and I'm still in a bit of pain, but I wanted to play some Genshin, so I figured I'd go live with you guys, talk with you guys, hang out with you guys, you know, the regular stuff. Anyways, guys, how about we get into some Genshin? Does that sound good? Does that sound Gucci? Does that sound Fabu? Because I've got the Genshin up. How are you guys doing? Karst, how you liking Kazuha? Karst, how you liking Kazuha? How you liking him? Hippogriff, have you gotten onto the update yet? He is okay so far? Oh, you don't know how good he is. He is legitimately 5-star Bennett. He is broken. He is busted. He is ridiculous. If you have an elemental team, he goes in it.
Since we first set foot on Inazuma. So many things have happened since then.
There have been so many memorable events.
Yeah, we've definitely made some progress on our journey. So, where should we go today?
Wait a moment.
Huh? What's up?
Someone's coming.
Hey! What the heck was that for? Doesn't want to talk, huh? Alright, let's convince him to calm down a little.
Off we go! Let's light it up! Teamwork!
So
how you doing, Hippogriff?
After all. Seems like I've mistaken you for someone else.
At the very least, you should make sure you've got the right person before you go attacking them. No, wait. Even when you've got the right person, you shouldn't go attacking them out of the blue. It's dangerous.
Have you ever met someone by the name of Kaedahara Kazuha?
Yes, he just kicked your butt.
He carries a sword just like you. I've also heard that he possesses an animo vision.
Why are you looking for him?
That's none of your business. Never mind. You don't look like you know anything.
Darklight,
anyway.
how you
I'm
doing?
wasting my time.
What the heck is this guy's problem? Coming around here, waving that weird sword in our faces, and he didn't even apologize. Seems like a real nutcase. Well, one thing's for sure. No way are we telling him anything about Kazuha.
Couldn't agree more.
Right? Paimon has a feeling, though, that even if this guy gets to challenge Kazuha to a duel, he won't be able to beat him. Anyway, just to be on the safe side, we should go find Kazuha right away and tell him to watch his back.
Actually, I have a hunch.
Oh? What kind of hunch?
I think this guy may have a special connection to Kazuha.
A special connection?
Hey, Tabby, how you doing?
Already knowing each other?
Can we get a shout out for Giant Tabby? I can't say for sure, but I feel like their fighting styles are kind of familiar.
Yeah, maybe a little. But then again, most people look pretty much the same once they start fighting, so that doesn't really prove
Please tell me
anything.
it'll hit. It looks like it's a few ways off. No, never mind. It's actually really good. Yes.
Oh, I want to play! How you doing, Tabby? How might you be?
Ah, yes. Oh, that was so
Can we get a ban on Cody? Thank you. Appreciate it. How you guys doing?
I win. All right.
Thank you, Repo. You are amazing. It's a I've been unpacking from moving. Where'd you move to, Hippogriff?
Anyway, there's no time to lose.
Kazuha's great.
Let's go tell Kazuha so we won't get into any danger. Paimon heard that the Crux fleet is stocking up in Rito at the moment. Let's look for him there.
Like, Kazuha, Tabby? Kazuha's broken. Have you looked at his kit at all? Tabby, have you looked at his kit at all? Have you had a chance to look at his, like, his skill set? Because he is actually busted. The amount of damage, I mean, Tabby, you saw what I was doing. Good to play. Ooh, okay, hold on a second. So these are my stats for him currently. I need more of these. Then I really need to continue leveling up his. I kind of want to get everything to 8. So, but the big thing, let's see, if his E comes in contact with Hydro, Pyro, Electro when cast, this will absorb the element, and if plunging attack mid-air runs on, if used before the effect expires, it will deal an additional 200% attack of the absorbed element typed as damage. This will be considered plunging attack damage. Elemental absorption may occur once. That's not the big thing. The big thing, Tabby, is this. Upon triggering a swirl reaction, Kaidaha Kazura will grant all party members a 0.04 elemental damage bonus to the element absorbed by swirl for every point of elemental mastery he has for 8 seconds. Bonus for different elements obtained through this method can coexist. So, if you look at my stats, I have 940 elemental mastery, which means I get around a 40% increase in damage.
Time to go.
Just to give you an example on what this boy can do, I'm gonna fight this boss. Just watch this. Pardon, by the way, if I sound a little weird. I had a root canal today, and I am in a lot of pain right now.
One with nature.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm going in. The wind knows me. Clouds high. The birds witness the power.
Race to the wicked!
Like, look at it. Look at its health. Just watch that.
No, my sword.
It is so sexy. I freaking love that Diluc outfit. Like, Kazuha does so much damage. It also, he also has kind of changed the way I play.
Adventure time.
It's still relish the fact that you can call him lame. It's not $30.
Teamwork is strength. Time to act. Ring cutter.
Dawn, break forth!
I really need more crit damage. I really need more crit damage.
Let's light it up.
Come on. Drop down. Good boy.
Everybody stand back. One with nature, as one with wind and cloud.
Rain outlines your fate.
Waste to the wicked.
Ah, it's so cool looking. So hold up a second. Karst, if you buy it now, it's 1980. It'll go up to about 25 bucks. But remember that if you haven't spent anything in the crystal top offs, these are worth double. So a dollar plus the about $16 will get you the entire costume currently. So right now would be the best time to buy it if you can afford it. It'll always be there. Like, you can always purchase it. But I really like the costume. I really think it's worth it, especially since it comes with new dialogue options and new effects. What were your rolls at? I don't believe in luck with this game. Luck comes with early. It doesn't, like, you can get it completely free if you know what you're doing. But yeah, no, Kazuha is, your account is set. You can basically do anything in the game now because of Kazuha.
Teamwork is strict. Into the wind. Fallen leaves. Adorn my...
Flames, purge.
Let's light it up. Everybody stick. The wind knows. As one with wind and cloud.
No, my sword. Let me leave you.
Flames, purge.
Like, look at that. Kazuha is legitimately the best character in the game. Well, the best 5-star in the game. The best 4-star in the game probably goes to Bennett. But, like, you just saw how quickly I took that out, right? Okay, let's see here. No. Also, Diluc is pretty dang good. I need to level up my Xingqiu. My Xingqiu needs leveled up. Ow! Hey, Phoenix, how you doing? No, he legitimately is one of, if not the best 5-star in the game. Nugget. He is, Kazuha is bonkers. Like, he is Bennett tier.
I'm going in. Into the wind. Fallen leaves. Adorn my...
Rain cutter.
Waste to the wicked.
Okay. Okay, you know what?
Everybody stand. The wind knows it. Clouds high. The birds...
Let me leave you.
Waste to the wicked.
With teamwork is... Into the wind. Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
Ring cutter.
Lay waste to the wicked!
Yeah, no, like the amount of good stuff he gives to your party, the amount of boosts and support he gives to your party is ridiculous, Nugget. Like there is no one who comes even close to what in terms of value that Kaidahara, at least currently, that Kazuha can add. There's only one party in the game so far. There's only one party in the game so far that can't benefit from Kazuha. No, even still. Like you can even still put him in mono Animo and mono Geo parties and still get benefits from him.
Can't catch me.
I mean, just look at what I'm doing, Tabby. Ooh, yes.
One with nature.
Retry. Retry.
Adventure time. Let's light it up, everybody.
The wind knows me.
Rain outlines your fate. Teamwork is
Stop that.
Into the wind. One with wind and cloud.
Witness the power.
Dawn, break forth!
Like,
I'm going in.
The wind knows me.
Let's light it up.
Clouds high. The birds come. One with nature.
Ring cutter.
Dawn, break forth!
need more crit rate on my D-Luke. Like, if you know how to merge Katahara with elemental teams, he just explodes. If he can create swirls, he's good. He is so good. Ow, my mouth.
Solidify!
Fall in! Press the advantage! Burst forth! Witness my great undertaking! Oh, coming through! Attaboy!
Oh, 100K.
This is order.
Okay, let's see. Drop this.
Moment of birth! It's showtime!
Let's roll! Gather!
Live!
Order guide you.
Fall in! Press the advantage! Burst forth! Feel this ancient power! Oh, coming through!
and clear. Like, he has given me time and a half to clear areas.
Adventure! Everybody stand!
The wind knows me. As one with wind and cloud.
Witness the power.
Lay waste to the wicked.
Gosh, my Diluc is nuts.
Let's light it up! Teamwork is...
One with nature. Fallen leaves adorn my...
Rain cutter!
Dawn, break forth!
Like, he legitimately is powering my Diluc party, and it's not even funny. What other characters did you get, Tabby?
Stabilize!
Oop.
Advance!
Were we trying that? I already know. No, already know what?
I'm going in!
The wind knows me. Clouds high. The birds come.
No, my sword! Let me lead you on.
Flames, purge!
That was 98k. Ningguang? Ningguang's not bad.
Let's light it up! Teamwork is streaming!
Into the wind.
Rain outlines your...
No, 100%. No, 100%. 100%. Like, no, I was kind of like, oh, he's fine.
Solidify!
Charge! Coming to be.
This is order.
Fall in! Rally! Burst forth. Moment of birth. Who wants some of this? Oh!
Let's roll! Gather!
Enough that.
We'll have order. Charge!
Okay.
Everyone on me! Witness
Drop
my
that.
great undertaking. Oh, coming through! Attaboy! Huh. Yeah. Huh. Cha.
Stabilize!
Drop that.
This is order.
Use that.
Press the advantage!
No.
Feel this ancient power. It's showtime! Let's roll! Huh.
Yeah, I have over a minute left to clear this. Man, it feels so nice.
Solidify! Order guide you.
Everyone on me! Coming to be. Moment of birth. Who wants some of this?
Man, that's so nice. Also, who wants to see Kazuha take on some of the weekly bosses? I think we should beat up a child. Phrasing. Sunar. Phrasing. 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 This is why I stream interactions like this.
This opportunity is quite hard to come by. Well then, amuse me. Surrender is a valid option. I promise I'll be gentle.
No, my soul! I let my guard down.
Like this! Not bad, not bad, not bad.
Already?
Going in!
One with nature. As one with wind and cloud.
Witness the power.
Wouldn't want to make the children cry after all. Oh, I'm gonna make him cry. Ow!
Off we go!
Into the wind.
Rain outlines your fate. Yeah, everybody stand!
The wind knows me. Clouds high. The birds.
Rain cutter!
Dawn, break forth!
Goodbye. Really? Really? How did you figure that out? Okay. Let's try out my Ayaka team, shall we?
You're trembling. Is it the cold or just cowardice?
One with nature.
Hold the line!
Take flight! Detestable!
It's fine.
The Tsaritsa's benevolence has no place for transgressors!
You can't run!
Okay. All right. Thank you, Nugget. I appreciate the clips. Oh, I hate these little fly things.
The Tsaritsa's benevolence...
I hate these little crystal fly things. Child endangerment.
Lights out.
As one with wind and cloud.
Sakura swirl!
God, that's gross.
So you know your stuff, huh? Allow me!
Who dares?
Judgment!
Call me
Punishment!
a witch!
Fallen leaves, adorn my...
Hold the line. Whirling snow.
Okay.
Embrace what I never asked.
Goodbye.
Redemption. Never.
Oh. One of these pulls, I'll get Kazu. Ha ha ha.
Allow me.
That being said, I think Venti is just better at like grouping.
Time to go.
Like the one thing that Kazuha can't do compared to Venti is grouping. The problem is he does everything else just better. Hey Waffles, how you doing?
You can't run. Shiver.
Inferior.
Into the wind.
Hold the line. Take flight.
Pathetic. Weak. Pathetic.
Judgment.
The wind's knows. Inferior. The eye sweeps the land.
Whirling snow.
Ow.
Yeah. Punishment.
Into the wind. Clouds high. The birds...
Allow me.
Lightning falls on the land of eternity.
My apologies.
This body
You
is
can't run.
The wind knows me.
Purge all obstacles. Whirling snow. Coming out. Sumetsu.
Whoa, yikes. Yikes.
One with nature. One with wind and cloud.
Rest and rebuild.
Witness the final calamity. There is no escape.
Into the wind.
Purge all obstacles. Eternity is in my hands.
Follow the wind.
I also have to manually dodge these.
Time to go. Come on.
Okay.
The wind knows me. Clouds high. The birds...
Rest and rebuild. Take flight.
Okay.
Embrace the ice.
Look at that.
My apologies.
Obey me.
One with nature.
Hold the line.
This world, a fleeting shadow.
Weak.
Judgment.
Fallen leaves. Adorn my nut.
Illusions are but distractions.
Rest and rebuild. Unthinkable. Take flight. Yeah.
Wind striding.
Billowing surge. Whirling snow.
There we go.
I'm here.
Your synth setup? What's your synth setup? What's your synth what's a synth setup? Okay, let's see here. Yeah, we'll keep with my D-Luke team. Synthesizers? Well, what type of synthesizers? Are we talking about music? Shh. Before we do that, though. Oh, cool. How's that going?
Add Astra. Thank you for Add Astra.
Yeah, I'm glad I logged in today. And we will go down and send out Shingsho. Slow? Yeah, music usually is. And then we'll go talk to Kazuha. But Waffles, check it out. Look at our man D-Luke. Also, not gonna lie, my D-Luke party is probably one of my favorite teams to play right now.
Hey! Hello? Do you know where Kazuha is?
You're looking for Kazuha too, huh? Guess he must have done something impressive after all.
Two?
Well, we took the small vessels into Rito on a routine supply run, only this time, as soon as we entered the harbor, we ran into a huge crowd of Inazumans, all of them wanting to know about Kazuha. If it's because of that battle on Nizuchi Beach, Captain Beto had a great run there too, but I don't see her getting this kind of attention. Kazuha keeps to himself most of the time. In fact, there are times when he doesn't even listen to the captain, but she just laughs it off.
Oh, so you still don't know what he did?
I've heard bits and pieces. Something about him blocking the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. Is it really as big a deal as everyone's making it out to be?
You could compare it to the technique Beto used to strike down Heishin.
Really? Wow. When you put it like that, it all makes sense. In that case, his newfound stardom is well deserved. He was called away earlier by some people from the Tenryou Commission. They said they had something important to discuss with him. I thought they'd come to arrest him at first. Turns out they couldn't have been friendlier to him. Seems like they really respect the guy.
Just a little while ago, this would have been completely unimaginable.
The Shogunate probably wants to show some goodwill. After all, the Raiden Shogun's mindset has changed.
Thank you! Guess we'll go pay a visit to the Tenryou Commission.
All right then. I'll just stay here and carry on trying to fend off the crowd.
Off to the Tenryou Commission. Man, I haven't had this much fun in Genshin in a while. Although, I think the last time I had this much fun was probably Ito. Like, D-Luke feels like an entirely new character at this point. I need more crit rate, though. Definitely need more crit rate. We'll work on that in a bit.
Oh? It's you.
Greetings. We were just discussing the repealing of the Vision Hunt decree. Since you're here, you're very welcome to listen in on the conversation. We invited Mr. Kaidahara here to extend a gesture of goodwill on behalf of the Shogunate. Your hard work has secured for us the agreeable state of affairs that we now enjoy. Also, I've been granted the chance to correct my clan's past mistakes, and for that, I'm deeply grateful. The Almighty Shogun has issued a large array of directives aimed at resolving, or at least easing, the tensions that have built up over the years. The Tri-Commission has made the recommendation to use this opportunity to restore the honor of the Kaidahara name. Regarding the history of the Kaidahara clan, I trust that you're already somewhat informed?
I've heard a thing or two.
In short, there was once a group of select bladesmiths who served the Shogun directly, responsible for upholding and further developing the traditional blade forging arts of the Almighty Shogun. The Kaidahara clan belonged to this class. But there came a time when some of these bladesmiths revolted and fled to Snezhnaya. Both the Kaidahara and Kamisato clans were held accountable for lax oversight and entered a period of great turmoil. We later learned that the whole misadventure had been secretly orchestrated by the Fatui. Attributing all of the blame to the Kamisato and Kaidahara clans was neither proper nor just. Considering Mr. Kaidahara has once more made an outstanding contribution to Inazuma, the Almighty Shogun believes he should not only be rewarded for his achievements, but also receive recompense for the excessive punishment borne by his clan in the past. In the interest of preventing further harassment of the Bladesmith clans by the Fatui, we chose not to publicly release the findings of our investigations into these matters. We trust you can understand why this was necessary.
This is a true honor. I am delighted to be in a position to receive the goodwill of the Almighty Shogun and the Shogunate at large. However, would
It's
I be
interesting how they
correct to
draw the
assume that
eyelashes.
this magnanimous gesture does not come without some strings attached?
Oh.
I can assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. We seek only to correct a past injustice.
Oh,
With
okay.
the Kaidahara clan's reputation and occupation restored, the Kaidaharas will be bladesmiths once more, and your wanderings will finally come to an end. You will be able to lead a safe and prosperous life in Inazuma City, with the Almighty Shogun's blessing and full support of the Shogunate.
I have grown accustomed to life among the elements. I fear I would no longer feel at home behind the tall walls of a stately abode. Yet my ancestors did indeed take great pride in the name of Kaidahara, and the art of blade making for which it stood. I do have a responsibility to restore their honor.
I sense some hesitation in your words. Should you accept this offer, I imagine many of the malicious rumors currently circulating through the populace will disappear.
Malicious rumors? All we heard on the way here was so much praise that we almost wondered whether there was another Kaidahara Kazuha in town.
Well, to some, the Muso no Hitotachi is something that can never be defeated. They cannot accept the idea that Mr. Kaidahara really parried the Shogun's strike. Also, eyewitnesses saw him using the power of Electro in addition to that of Animo. As a result, the falsehood that Kaidahara Kazuha was using a delusion began to spread.
What? But that doesn't make sense. Using a delusion turns you old and frail, and Kazuha still looks fine.
That is correct. However, to some people, the idea of a single person wielding two elements at once is a more inconceivable notion still.
This is just one of many similar rumors. I am very uncomfortable with being the subject of public discussion, no matter whether it brings suspicion or stardom my way. But perhaps if the Shogunate is willing to publicly support me, this situation will blow over more quickly.
This is precisely why I encourage you to give our offer some serious thought. It stands to benefit all of us.
Please allow me some time to consider. In fact, let us put this discussion on hold for the moment. Well then, what brings the two of you here?
Yikes! We nearly forgot about the most important thing!
Why would such a dangerous individual be looking for me?
Do you have any siblings?
No. This puzzles me as much as it does you. My fighting forms were taught to me by my family, based on techniques originally developed for blade testing. We undergo rigorous training to standardize
Right?
every motion the blade is put through, so that each can be fairly assessed for quality. Over time, these techniques came to form something of a Kaidahara sword art, focused on blade testing, but with a full repertoire of combat forms. Those forms are quite different from the more practical ones typically used by samurai in battle. So it's hard to imagine that the similarity you speak of was coincidence alone.
All the more reason to watch your back. This guy was a serious nutcase.
Indeed. He sounds highly aggressive. Anyone he targets is at risk of serious injury, or worse.
In that case, I will send some men out immediately to search for him.
Thank you. I must say I am now very curious about this matter, and I will also need some time to consider your offer. I will first join the Traveler in investigating the one who attacked him, then give you a conclusive answer upon my return.
Very well. Please stay safe.
Come on. Let's go and track down your aggressor.
The detective agency knows the most about what goes on in town. Let's see what Ryuji has to say.
Don't care about the version highlights. Gosh, it's so sexy. I still, to this day, do not have a single sacrificial sword! Hi. I'm in a lot of pain. How are you? I want it. I want it. I want it.
There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it. Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home. This blade. It is the last link I have to the land of my birth.
I want that sword. I mean...
Taking a stroll in the middle of a downpour certainly rouses the spirit. But it's best to dry your clothes as soon as possible after the rain stops. Compared to the storms I've encountered out at sea, this is really quite tame. I love it when it snows. The world falls completely silent, and I can sleep undisturbed.
It's
clear weather all around, bright and
she is so soothing.
The bird song at daybreak is nature's gift to us. Let us go. Our journey begins anew. The midday sun has a way of making one yearn for a moment of sleep. Let's say we find ourselves a place to rest. I gaze up at the moon and lend my ear to the gentle breeze, with wine in my cup and peace in my heart. Have a wonderful evening.
That's gonna be my outro from here on out.
The wind has ceased. The world is silent, so now is the best time to rest well. See you tomorrow.
Right?
In truth, not every night out at sea is filled with wind and waves. When the weather is clear, the moonlight flows over the rippling water, and schools of fish circle the ship's hull. At moments like that, when I look out into the distance from the prow, I feel like this journey is worth it. The only thing that takes away from that feeling is the sailors singing. They're so loud. Don't they need to sleep? The Kaidahara clan was once a famed samurai clan. It's a pity that by the time the noble name passed to me, the title itself was all that was left. But it is enough for me. A samurai has no need of a lavish life. We find all that we need in wine, song, and the blade in our hands.
That looks... That looks better on him, but it's not nearly as good. I know this is the weapon he used during his debut. There's not many katanas in the game. Two. Suppose I could put this on ether if I really wanted to. Actually, what is my ether looking like? Anything new?
Kazuha is a free spirit, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he seems to be a bit of a loner, too.
Being able to explore the world at his leisure while savoring the beauty of everything around him? That doesn't sound too shabby. You aren't thinking of sneaking off to go on a solo adventure, right?
I would never leave you, Paimon.
Aw, Paimon's really happy to hear that. Here, have this.
Monthly food expenses? 300,000 mora?
Hey, wait! Where are you going?
I suddenly feel like going solo. Maybe it's not a bad idea after all.
Please don't go! Leave Paimon!
Leave emergency food behind! That being said, I need a BRB right quick. I need to get my drink. I won't be long. Hold on a second. Be right back. You guys didn't hear anything. I totally had myself muted. Okay, I'm back. Let's get on with it, shall we? Actually, hold on a second. Okay, requires 2 keys. I really want some red wings. Emergency food should always be with us in case of emergency. Drepo, I love you. Although I do want to eat her really, really badly. Just put her out of her misery.
A quick question. Do you know if anyone around here has been looking for him? For Kaidahara Kazuha, we mean.
Aha! So this is the renowned Mr. Kaidehara. I've heard a lot about you. It is an honor to finally meet you today.
Ryuji?
You are too kind. We are currently investigating an assault and would appreciate any help you can offer.
Oh? You were targeted in an assault? Let me think. I can't seem to recall anything of immediate interest. Mr. Kaidehara is currently the talk of the town, so there are always a lot of people looking for him. To be honest with you, our detective agency has recently been receiving many inquiries from people wishing to obtain Mr. Kaidehara's personal information.
This guy was outsourced.
Some of them were offering us millions of mora just to gather the information.
And you can tell he's an amateur too,
If
because
these
he's
were
taking
more
things too
legitimate
literal.
commissions, Sango would have snapped them up in an instant.
Millions of mora? Whoa! Oh, wait, even at that price, you probably still shouldn't.
Please, accept my thanks for looking out for my privacy.
Of course. No matter what, we only take on legitimate cases. We don't make our money by revealing details of other people's day-to-day life just for the sake of it.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, I got a little off topic. What I'm really trying to say is, it doesn't surprise me that a complete stranger is looking for Mr. Kaidehara. But I wouldn't know where to begin if we want to connect this with an assault.
Then let's put that connection aside for now. Have there been any other attacks or similar incidents recently that stand out as particularly unusual? The Tenryou Commission had very few leads. I thought you might have some information from different sources.
It's true that the commissioners aren't clued up about every little thing that goes on out in the streets. But typically, it's only the most trivial events that manage to escape their attention. If anyone had been out there attacking people, that would be assault, in which case the Tenryou Commission would absolutely get involved.
That does make sense. Uh-oh. Looks like the trail's already run cold.
I still find it difficult to believe that whoever attacked you hasn't been causing any trouble elsewhere. Few people possess your prowess in battle. So unless you were the first person he targeted, someone is certain to have been hurt by now.
Is this your way of giving me praise? Still, it was also not easy for me to fight him off.
I am well aware of your talents. There is no need to be humble around me. In fact, I'm quite relieved that you were the one he targeted.
What? What?
It would cause me great grief to see someone become critically injured or lose their life because of me. For the poor victim, this would be a completely senseless crime.
Don't worry, we'll find him.
It seems you are every bit the selfless hero they make you out to be, Mr. Kaidehara. Surely this same concern for your fellow man is what drove you to fearlessly raise your blade against the almighty Shogun.
You flatter me. Truth be told, I don't know quite what came over me in that moment.
You are much too humble.
Welcome to
Don't
Genshin
worry,
artifact
I completely
grinding,
understand your
Cars.
concerns. I will try my best to gather whatever leads I can for you. Oh, actually, there was one strange incident over the last few days. It doesn't involve an attack, though. Let me tell you about it just in case.
Most people do.
During times like this, the more information we have, the better.
All right then. Recently, 2 people went missing from the city at around the same time. One of them is a pretty well-known collector, surnamed Nagato. The other, Amenoma Yuya, is a samurai from the Amenoma clan.
Amenoma. Now there's a familiar name.
Right. Yuya is the nephew of Amenoma Togo, the owner of Amenoma Smithy. 2 grown men going missing at the same time. Their cases are likely connected, but I don't know much in the way of details. I recalled this because Amenoma Yuya is also an accomplished martial artist who is skilled with the blade. Perhaps he is the one you are looking for.
Understood, though it seems highly unlikely to me. I neither know this man, nor do I have any idea why he may wish to attack me.
Let's consider this a favor for Ryuji.
Sure, can't hurt. We never know what we might find out along the way.
Thank you, Ryuji. We'll start by making some inquiries at the Amenoma smithy.
Sounds good. All the best with your investigation. I'll get moving shortly myself.
Guess we're moving on. Okay, let's see here. I'm not sure if I want to even craft that. Okay, let's just...
Ah, if it isn't Kaedehara Kazuha. What brings you here today?
Huh? You two know each other?
He's a blacksmith, Paimon.
Yes, the Kaedehara and Amenoma clans were both members of the Raiden Gokaden. Historically, there have always been deep links between the two clans. After I returned to Inazuma, I visited Mr. Amenoma to pay my respects.
Ah, I see.
Yes, you may recall the story of the Raiden Gokaden from the Iridori Festival.
Though all bladesmiths trace their craft back to the same source, over time, each of us has arrived at a different blade-making philosophy, spawning the development of different branches of the same art.
Apparently.
As an example, the Amenoma art strives to emulate the abiding patience and determination of water as it turns stone to sand. There is nothing mystical to our work. There is only practice, day in and day out, until both body and mind have memorized the craft, turning each motion of every technique into an intrinsic part of the bladesmith's life. As for the art of the Kaedehara clan, I believe it's called the Ishin art.
That's right. Ishin art strives for complete harmony between blade and mind from the moment that forging begins. For only a blade thus forged can capture and convey its maker's thoughts and feelings, and eventually become an extension of its wielder's will.
Indeed. Most samurai choose their blades, but an Ishin blade chooses its owner. You are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Ishin blade. It gladdens my heart to see that although the Kaedehara clan has fallen on hard times, its ideals and virtues are alive and well.
You overestimate me. My actions are guided by my own personal sentiments, not by any noble aspirations on behalf of my clan. But let's get back on topic. The purpose of our visit today is to gather some information on your missing nephew. We hope to assist with the investigation. It may turn out that this case is connected to another we are pursuing.
Ah, yes. My nephew. I reported the case to the Tenryo Commission, but I haven't heard anything back so far. He didn't say a word before he left, which is very unlike him. I'm still completely at a loss on what to make of it, but I've done what I can so far. Worrying is futile. All I can do now is wait for the news from the Tenryo Commission.
We heard that there was a collector involved in the disappearance too. Know anything about that?
Yes. On the morning that Yuya went missing, he gave me a very cryptic look and said that he was going to give me a great gift.
Uh-oh.
I believe he went to collect the item from Mr. Nagato after that. The next thing I heard was that a fire had broken out at the warehouse, and neither of them came back.
Fire?
Yes. Strange, isn't it? I wonder what could have caused it. Unfortunately, there was very little evidence left behind, so nobody knows what really happened.
Do you have any thoughts on what Yuya may have wanted to give you?
If I had to guess, it must have been some kind of rare weapon. Otherwise, there would have been no reason for him to get my hopes up. He's never been particularly interested in blade forging, but has always had a fondness for blade testing, and can sense even the most minute differences in blade quality. He is extraordinarily talented in martial arts, particularly when it comes to the art of the sword.
Truth be told, we have some information that you may find to be objectionable. The person we are looking for, he attacked this friend of mine. Based on the evidence we have gathered so far, only Yuya seems to match the suspect's profile.
What? No. Absolutely impossible. Yuya is not that kind of person. He is humble and kind. Even his training is done with the goal of calming his mind. He has never gotten into a fight before.
Huh. Is that so?
Yes. If there's one thing I can say for certain, it's that Yuya would never draw his blade without a very good reason. But, with that said, it's equally out of character for him to just disappear with neither farewell nor fair warning. I also cannot know what course of action he might be capable of if coerced or otherwise compelled by circumstances unbeknownst to me. Anyway, should you find him, please let me know as soon as possible.
Don't worry. You have our word.
From the sound of that, Paimon doesn't think Yuya was the one who attacked us as well.
We still need to get info from the Nagato family.
Yes. It sounds as if something happened when the two men met each other. Let's pay a visit to the Nagato household.
Why are we playing Sherlock Holmes again? That's fun. Do I go higher if I hold it?
Into the wind.
I do go higher if I hold it. Still so cool looking. Okay, the Nagato family is up there. Let's be lazy. Oh, I can.
Time to
go. However, it doesn't seem like you can charge it in midair. I actually want to know what his constellations are. I know that's broken. Okay, so that's kind of useless. It looks like his C2 is his best constellation. I want more money.
I'm very sorry, but we cannot afford to pay what we owe right now. My husband has gone missing, and I'm still trying to find him.
No, you misunderstand us. We are here to help with the investigation. We'd like to ask you some questions about Mr. Nagato's disappearance, if we may.
Ah, I see. I thought the debt collectors had come to visit again.
Debt collectors?
I'm sorry you have to see me in this dreadful state. Has some new information come out? Do you know where he's gone?
I'm afraid we don't have any new information at the moment.
Wait.
We're still trying to find out as much as we can to inform our search. With this in mind, can we perhaps ask some questions about your family's current situation?
For example, Paimon's struggling to understand why a collector would be strapped for Mora.
That's a long story. Ever since I've known him, he's been an avid collector of all sorts of things. He'd always get so animated when he was showing them to me. I knew nothing about the items myself, but seeing how enthusiastic and excited they made him, I was happy to believe that they were just extremely important to him. Everything was fine when we first got married, but as time went by, things changed for the worse.
Uh-oh. What happened?
He lost his sense of restraint. He started buying more and more things, and even resorted to borrowing money just so he could pay for them. Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. It was awful. There were days when he'd spend hours down at the warehouse, admiring his weapons even as debt collectors were descending upon our house. He wouldn't sell them, wouldn't even touch them. Just sat there staring at them like he was in a trance. I'm happy he has a hobby, and I'm willing to support him, but making ends meet has to come first. I've tried talking to him about it so many times, but he never listens. On the last day that I saw him, I gave him an ultimatum. I said, if he refused to sell his collectibles and pay off his debts, I would divorce him and take the children with me.
Whoa!
Yikes.
And that led to an argument.
Actually, it didn't. Generally, he's a quiet man who likes to go with the flow. On most things, he leaves the decision-making to me. You must understand, I never would have dreamed of threatening him with divorce if the debts hadn't pushed our family to the brink. After I said those words, he froze and was silent for a long time.
For what, Angel?
When he finally spoke, he awkwardly mumbled that he would pick out a few items to sell. His voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what would happen to our family?
You did the right thing. It's important to set boundaries.
Had I not indulged his bad habits, we wouldn't have found ourselves in such
Anytime,
a predicament.
Angel.
And I also don't know if he had actually come to his senses, or if he was simply angry with me. The next thing I heard was that our warehouse had caught fire, and both he and the buyer had gone missing.
I see. I understand. Amenoma Yuya came
Right?
to purchase a weapon from Mr. Nagato. During the sale, a fire broke out at the warehouse, and both men disappeared.
At first, I assumed they must have gotten into an argument over the price. But my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries, so it's hard to imagine him getting into a fierce argument.
Maybe he was feeling the pressure from the debts?
I don't know. He just disappeared after the warehouse burned down. Perhaps he's too afraid to come home now that all his collectibles have been lost in the fire, and he's got no way to pay off our debts. Even though I'm still a little mad at him, we're a family, and I want us to face our family's crisis together. As long as he's willing to turn over a new leaf, I know we can work things out.
Please don't get upset. There could be more to this
Let's see
situation than meets
here.
the eye. If collecting things is a habit that Mr. Nagato had his whole life, it is quite unusual for this habit to change so drastically over a short period. But the information we gathered from the other side suggests Amenoma Yuya is also a mild-mannered man who would not be likely to start an argument. This situation is getting a little confusing.
A little confusing? More like completely mystifying.
Let's try a change of scenery and see if we can piece together what we've learned. Rest assured, we'll notify you if we find anything.
Yeah, I need to figure
Thank you
out.
so much. I just want him to come home.
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the sales meeting between the two men was somehow the catalyst for their disappearance. The fire at the warehouse likely played a part in how the situation unfolded, though its exact role...
I need to
is a
figure out how to
mystery.
clean the
Do you have any
drops.
thoughts?
Well, Paimon was thinking that maybe someone accidentally knocked over an oil lamp and,
No.
nope, never mind. Paimon to rest for a while. Over to you.
Perhaps the fire was deliberately used to hide the truth.
An interesting explanation. I was also considering this possibility. Amenoma Yuya is an expert on swords. He could have noticed some problematic details about Mr. Nagato's collectibles. Maybe he recognized a blade as a fake, or a well-known stolen item. Either way, after arguing about it, the two men agreed to hide the truth of this matter. They thought a fire would destroy everything. But then the Tenryou Commission began investigating and uncovered some incriminating details, so they fled to protect their secrets. But it's a far-fetched theory. I can't imagine how they would have been able to reach an agreement. One fact that I keep coming back to is that Amenoma Yuya is polite and well-mannered, while Mr. Nagato is introverted and passive. Neither seems like the type of person who is inclined towards initiating conflict.
Agreed.
Mr. Nagato, being heavily in debt, is also the only one of them with the potential motive to disappear after the fire. The more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes. Just what could have happened there?
This also doesn't seem connected to the case of the attacker.
Right. Although the time frame seems to broadly match, no other details that we've learned seem to link the two events together. Amenoma Yuya lacks a key distinguishing feature of the attacker, namely that he is principally a practitioner of the blade testing techniques of Amenoma art, not those of the combat-oriented Ishin art.
Darn! We thought we could get two birds with one stone here, but at this rate, it's starting to look like a wild goose chase.
Let's keep going, since we've come this far. If we can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and Mrs. Nagato will be able to get some closure.
Okay, but where should we go now?
Let's head out of the city and check out the warehouse. There's still a chance we may be able to find some shreds of evidence.
Uh-oh, I've got mail. What is it? What's my mail? Ah, Twitch rewards. Got it. That works. Okay, let's see here.
Time to go.
Where am I going? Ah. Would be easier if I just teleported over here. Actually. We'll clean that. How much money does I have now? Okay, almost 10 million again.
Wait. I hear something ominous in the wind.
Oh! This must be another one of those sounds that only you can hear. As sketchy as that whole thing seems, you did put it to good use when we were chasing down that vision thief at Beto's tournament, so...
I knew we could count on you.
Now I'm picking up a strong scent in addition to the sound. It's right around here somewhere.
But there's nothing here.
Paimon, shut up.
It's gone now, but I can still sense the direction it left in. It felt very much like that ancient presence in Inazuma. The remnants of the Tatarigami.
Tatarigami. That's one thing I didn't expect to encounter here.
Indeed. But this unexpected spring of inauspicious energy may prove to be of benefit to our investigation. We should remain vigilant and approach slowly.
So it's an underground warehouse.
Dungeon?
The
Dungeon?
force is definitely coming from down below. The source of the Tatarigami energy has long since left this place, but the residue it left behind still hasn't dissipated completely. Judging from the concentration, I would have to conclude that the Tatarigami source resided here for a very long time.
Mrs. Nagato said her husband used to hang around the warehouse by himself a lot.
It could well be that he was already under the influence of Tatarigami energy at that time.
Surely someone would have noticed.
From what I've been told, Tatarigami does not turn all upon whom it preys into violent monsters, but most will develop a stubborn streak upon being exposed to the Tatarigami's unfulfilled will. Their interests become fanatical obsessions. Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with. The influence of Tatarigami could explain why he became an obsessive hoarder, amassing more and more possessions, even as he put himself in grave debt.
So what should we do now? Go down and take a look?
Step back. I'll open the door and take a look inside.
That's dangerous.
If we don't open this door, we can move no closer to the truth. You needn't worry. Both of us have faced far greater dangers than this. Relatively speaking, the risk here is trivial.
Oh, please be a dungeon.
Down there.
Everything's buried in debris. I can't see anything.
No!
It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse to rubble.
So in the end, it was just a scare.
That was too scary. Paimon was so sure that the warehouse boogeyman was about to jump out at us.
Shut up,
All we can
Paimon.
do now is keep searching in the direction that the Tatarigami energy's source left this place. Two ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami. I fear much misfortune has already befallen them.
Let's hurry.
Yes, let's go. If nothing else, it's vital that we find out where this Tatarigami energy is coming from. Quiet your mind and focus on what you sense around you. Perhaps you too will perceive its ominous presence in the wind.
Oh, that's gross.
From this point, the trail appears to split into two. The
Well,
main
I came
source
in
of
last
the
minute for your
Tatarigami
drops.
energy
What do you
continued on
mean,
into the
Lyra?
distance,
How you doing,
but
by
a
the way?
small portion remained here, and seems to be dissipating slowly.
2 parts. So that could correspond to Mr. Nagato and Amenoma Yuka?
Quite possibly. Let's search the area.
Fair, fair. Lyra, did you get Kazuha?
Silly churls. They're acting really strangely.
Something seems to be drawing their attention. Let's take a closer look. Wind strike!
Let's light it up! I'm going in!
As one with wind and cloud, one with nature. It's...
Ugh. Look at this red stuff. What is it?
By the looks of it, a letter written on a piece of torn clothing. The ink is bone dry. It must have been written quite some time ago. Well, let's take a look.
I am Nagato. I was wounded by Amenoma Yuga. He He took my most precious blade. I chased him, but I couldn't catch him. I lay down here and the rest on my account of exhaustion. I thought that I might croak right here. My stomach kept bleeding, but it seems that some strange power has sustained me. Why did he steal that blade? I was going to sell it to him. He didn't. He even burnt down my warehouse. It hurts, but for some reason I can't fall unconscious, so all I can do is distract from the pain as I write. What will happen to Sachiko, Yuichi, and Yuji? I'm sorry to them. I really am. Only now do I realize I was stuck in my ways I was, and how blind in my blind to my obsession. I must have been cursed. Klee is not good. Klee is very not good. I can't stand Klee.
According to this letter, a conflict arose because Amenoma Yuya wanted to seize a blade belonging to Mr. Nagato. Yuya started the fire that destroyed the warehouse and wounded Mr. Nagato in the fight. Mr. Nagato kept chase as long as he could, eventually stopping here to write this letter when his strength gave out.
So, where is he?
He was not only mortally wounded, but also under the heavy influence of Tatarigami. Add to that the fact that its aura seems to have attracted a horde of monsters, and I'm afraid he may no longer be with us. Whatever traces there may have been of his fate beyond after this point, they've since been disturbed by the hilly churls. There's nothing more for us to find here.
There are more important things right now. Let's ask the Tenryou Commission to do a thorough search later.
Yes. Right now, we need to uncover some more important truths. If Amenoma Yuya is attacking other people indiscriminately, then the longer we take to find him, the more people risk meeting the same tragic end.
Right! So let's get moving!
How does it offend you? How did it come to this?
I wouldn't be surprised if he, too, fell prey to the influence of the Tatarigami. For a practitioner of the martial arts, the easiest desire to inflame would be their pursuit of further power and skill. All the clues that at first seemed disparate and disconnected, it seems that now we know the thread that runs between them. I have a hypothesis that, if it's correct, not only explains the series of events leading to the two men's disappearance, but also zeroes in on the attacker's identity.
Wait! You figured it out? So these two cases are connected after all?
I believe so. But it's something of an outlandish idea. I will only be able to confirm my suspicions once we've met him in person. On with the search. We must stay vigilant. At any point now, we may find ourselves in danger.
Okay. Oh, hey. That's cool. Hey Dory, how you doing? Hey Dory, do you want to see something sexy? Do you want to see something sexy? Look at that outfit. Look at that outfit. Look at that. Yes, things are heating up. You have no idea. Hey, Cars. Ash, how you doing?
He seems to have stayed here for a long time.
Why here? Is there anything special about this place?
I'm not sure. But on closer examination, I sense that the aura may have lingered here at several different points in time.
Show yourself! It's no use hiding anymore.
Kaedehara Kazuha. It's you, at last.
Aha! So it is the same guy from before. What's your problem, huh? What could you possibly have against Kazuha?
Indeed, there should be no enmity between us. If it is Amenoma Yuya that stands before us. But what if instead of facing Amenoma Yuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his hand?
Huh? The blade?
Now that you mention it, it is giving off a strange light. Whoa, whoa! Surely you don't mean... Are you serious?
Tatarigami energy often lodges itself within physical objects, then works to subtly affect any living organisms in its vicinity. The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years, affecting his state of mind, and more recently using the sale as a means to affect, or rather as a means to occupy, Amenoma Yuya's body.
You're sharper than I thought. You've already deduced the truth of the matter. Many, many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of the Ishin tradition. I was his pride and joy. In me, he placed all his hopes and dreams. As a descendant of the Kaedehara clan, you should be able to guess our greatest regret.
I presume it has something to do with the Raiden Gokaden.
Indeed. At that point in time, he failed to live up to the Raiden Shogun's expectations. In the end, all he could do was to flee the nation by sea on a ship bound for Snezhnaya. He was a bladesmith of great renown, a master of his craft. There was nothing that he could not accomplish. All he needed was more time and a little faith. And sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. All of his life's work, his wisdom, his skill, it culminated in his creation of me. He not only bestowed upon me the greatest of strength, but also endowed me with a consciousness of my own. In her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect blade in the entire world, but also an irreplaceable achievement in the art of blade forging.
So, swords can become conscious and control people?
The people of the time in which I was born never believed I had that kind of power. They saw me as a mere blade, a sharp and well-crafted one, but in all other respects an ordinary weapon. But that gave me the opportunity to take action. After the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhnaya and began my long quest to return to the distant land of Inazuma. Moving from one person to the next, I controlled the minds of countless hosts along the way, each bringing me one step closer to my ancestral home. I seek but one thing: to face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power. The might of Ishin art!
Ah, so Amenoma Yuya was not your first victim. Tell me, what happens to those you've possessed when you've finished using them?
My hosts? Who cares what happens to them? They are but tools that serve my mission. When they got tired, or injured, or unusable, I hopped to the next one in line. All I needed them for was to take me back to Inazuma.
You're awful.
After I returned to Inazuma, I decided to bide my time in Nagato's warehouse until Amenoma Yuya handed himself over to me on a silver platter. At long last, I'm approaching my journey's destination. By Amenoma Yuya's body, I have found you, And by your hand, I shall defeat the Raiden Shogun. Kaede Harakazuha, you stood against the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. There can be no other to serve as my host for what is to come. Now, give your body over to me! We shall rewrite history! Join me and sever that divine light!
One with nature. Time to go.
Join me and sever that divine light!
Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
Yeah, no, mine is better than his. Holy crap. Actually.
One with nature.
Rewrite history!
Really? Really? Oh, this is so bad.
Rewrite history!
Into the wind.
Submit to me!
One with nature.
Do not stand in my way, or I will strike you down too!
Your bluff's fooling no one. You've lost.
Lost? I can never lose. It is this body that has reached its limit, nothing more. Even if you defeat me here, the one who falls will not be me, but this man. He is but a puppet that can be replaced. I can take a new vessel at will.
Then we'll smash you into pieces!
The end result is the same. I will end this wretch's life before you can lift a finger. And even if I were to lose my physical form, it is but a small setback. My consciousness shall endure. By any means necessary, and any medium available, I shall return and fulfill my destiny!
Your fighting style. It is indeed the forms of Ishin art. But from your movements, I sense only hatred and arrogance, as well as a thinly veiled mania and despair.
Really? You can tell all that just from his moves?
As I've mentioned before, the forms of Ishin art convey the user's thoughts and feelings. Since the blade is currently possessing Amenoma Yuya's body, its movements express the innermost thoughts of the blade. If you ask me, the mania is probably due to your desperate, single-minded ambition. You believe I am your only hope.
Are you trying to claim that I am helpless without you? On his deathbed, he passed to me all of Ishin art's secrets. The little that you know barely scratches the surface. In that regard, why would I ever need your help?
Because all of that is in the past. I've been wondering why you've not caused more trouble in all the years that you've been in Inazuma. If you are indeed a cursed blade that can possess its owner. Now that I've seen inside your mind, everything finally makes sense. You weren't biding your time. You were trapped. After all the time that's passed, you have grown weak. To the point that you are now unable to acquire a new host without making physical contact.
Oh, that's right. Paimon remembers now. Mr. Nagato had a habit of never touching his collectibles.
Only when Mr. Nagato witnessed his wife's distress and decided to sell his collectibles did you finally have an opportunity to reach out to Amenoma Yuya and make your escape.
And what of it?
Well, that brings me to my second point. There's a despair in you that is so strong it threatens to overwhelm you. You were determined to fulfill your maker's ambition, whatever the cost. But this ambition is too grand and too heavy for you to bear. Each step you have taken has come at a great cost. I think you realized your limitations long ago. The more you clenched your teeth and pressed forward, the greater your fear of
It's a sword, it doesn't have any
everything you had
teeth.
achieved grew, and the more you wished to run from the truth. But the way I see it, what began as an ambition has long since become a delusional fantasy.
What would you know about any of this? I'm just one step away from achieving my goal.
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance of Ishin art. But to make this arduous journey, you committed countless atrocities and showed a blatant disregard for human life. Even if you were to sever that divine light, is this truly the outcome that your maker would have desired?
You...
Sure, you inherited the secrets of Ishin art. But even as you made your journey to honor this legacy, you treated the ones who wielded you as mere tools to do your bidding. How could you possibly unleash the full potential of Ishin art when you act in perfect discordance with the principle of harmony between a blade and its bearer?
Silence, you blabbering fool! I must achieve my goal. This was his life's dream, and the very purpose for which I was brought into being. I will concede that you are most perceptive. You see my predicament clearly. But you also underestimate my resolve.
And you should face reality.
Easy for you to say. Facing reality offers me nothing. I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. Not hesitation, not self-reflection, and certainly not your so-called reality. It is pointless to argue further, descendant of the Kaedahara clan. If you wish to save this man, then offer me your body in exchange.
How stubbornly you stick to your wayward path. I do not believe for a second that you can challenge the almighty Shogun in your current state. So let us make a bet, and I will put your strength to the test.
What?
Huh?
Surely you're not planning to agree to his demands.
Very well. Then find yourself some enemies with whom you wish to cross blades. A taste of my power will more than convince you. Once we have dealt with them, we shall proceed to Tenshukaku.
And as for your end of the bargain, if you lose, you must release Amenoma Yuya from your control.
I accept.
Don't do this, Kazuha!
This is a risky strategy. You're dealing with a cursed blade that can possess people.
This is the only way to save Amenoma Yuya. If we don't do this, he'll forever be the blade's puppet. The cursed blade's strength is currently very weak, and I sense he's hesitating. This suggests his heart is still not completely devoid of honor. The power of the Tatarigami lies in intensifying existing obsessions. This is the reason Mr. Nagato and Amenoma Yuya fell prey to it. Since I don't have any similar kinds of obsessions, I should be able to put up some resistance for a while.
But even so...
Even if things take a turn for the worse, I still have you both here with me. We have a chance here to save an innocent victim. I am willing to accept the risks entailed.
Right, fine. It's not like I can stop you, anywho.
Your disdain for me betrays your woeful ignorance. I agreed to this bet because there are things I wish to learn too. Now, take me in your hand.
Kazuha?
I'm okay. I felt a little dizzy at first, but only for a moment. It's all right. So far, this was as I expected.
If something feels off, let me know immediately.
I will. Thank you.
What should we do next? Have you got a plan, Kazuha?
Man, my mouth hurts right now. My mouth is in so much pain.
Although this blade has endured much turmoil, it probably hasn't experienced many real fights. If a blade built for Ishin art cannot enter a state of harmony between blade and bearer, it cannot unleash its true power. If he wants to avoid reality, then we need to fight until he has no choice but to face it. He shouldn't last long in an intense combat situation.
Wait a minute! Paimon remembers hearing about something from the Adventurers Guild. Since the Takasukasa clan
I love you,
abandoned that
Drepo.
secret base, it's been held by Ronin ever since.
That should fit the bill.
All right. Please lead the way.
What about Amanoma Yuya? What should we do with him?
The blade says he'll let Amanoma Yuya trail us silently. Although he hasn't regained his own consciousness yet, he is not in any immediate danger.
Are we sure this is a good idea? It's a pretty treacherous journey. Okay, fine. Just be careful.
Oh, that's a long way. All the way to the Kamisato estate. How much more do we have? Okay, so we're closing in on the end. Yeah, we'll finish off this quest and call it here.
The wind knows me. One with nature.
I was expecting 9 seconds to be significantly longer in pace. Oh, here again. Let's go.
Leave everything on this journey to me. The wind knows me. One with nature.
Finally,
Into the wind.
just my lucky day.
Hey, boys.
As one with wind and cloud.
How are you feeling? You okay?
I'm all right. The blade is performing largely as I expected. Having gone so long without proper use and maintenance, it's become very difficult to use. Though he's making every effort to persevere, I do not think he can last much longer.
Something else on your mind?
How strange. Rather than trying to control me, he's instead trying to match my fighting rhythm. Let's keep going.
Yeah, that's not good.
Time to go.
Hey, boys.
It's my lucky day.
The wind knows me.
Boom this!
One with nature.
There's more! Say no more! Hurry! Boom! Finally,
get down to business. The wind knows me.
Falling leaves, adorn my night!
Whoa, something's up with the blade.
What's going on? It's grown dimmer?
I can sense that his strength is slowly fading away. The blade is becoming more and more difficult for me to wield. He cannot hold out much longer. If he keeps persisting, he will likely break apart at any moment.
But what would that do to Amanome Yuya?
I will be careful with it. He also says he does not have any plans to give up easily. He's still trying to achieve his goal.
Come on.
One with nature.
Nope.
Into the wind. The wind knows me.
As one with wind and cloud!
Cut down.
Goodbye.
Are you okay? It looks like you were really struggling the entire fight.
Was I?
Yes. And it looks like he's reached his limit.
The sheen's grown a bit dimmer again. It doesn't look anywhere near as impressive as it did at the start.
Perhaps this time, we'll finally have a chance to see his true form.
True form? What are you talking about? Huh? What the? Is this the same blade as before? It looks like a piece of junk.
The wear and tear is so severe. It really looks like it's about to break.
If you choose to continue in the state you're in, you wouldn't even be able to beat Samurai and Kairagi, much less the almighty Shogun. Maybe you did truly wield power to rival the Shogun's light when first forged. But the long journey from Snezhnaya back to Inazuma has left you battered and broken. It barely needs stating anymore. Your ambition is a flight of fancy.
Will he listen to you? Though the truth is right there in front of him?
I finally figured out why it was that you agreed to my bet. You wanted to reach a state of harmony with me. For perhaps then you would still be able to wield commendable power. But regrettably, we are nothing alike. I will never understand your obstinacy and cruelty, nor can I empathize with the one who made you. The only one who truly understood you had already passed away by the time you were born.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
Here they are! Take them down!
Where do they keep coming from?
You shouldn't fight with its blade anymore.
Yup. We can help this time.
Don't worry. I'll use my own blade. It's just more of the same.
Like he did.
Into the wind.
Finally,
One with nature.
Is it over?
No. Clouds high. The birds call.
You fought way better with your own sword.
You are a true Kaedehara in flesh and in spirit. Though we fought briefly together, you have seen me for who I really am. No one knew anything of my story throughout my travels, nor did I tell it to anyone. You are the first person to know the truth. I thought that if I could achieve Ishin harmony with you, perhaps there would still be a ray of hope for me.
But in this too, you have failed.
Indeed. No matter how hard I tried, I could not attain that perfect harmony that your personal blade does with you. Too much time has passed. My physical state is poor, and without proper maintenance, I can only disguise my true appearance behind an outer sheen. Yours is the blade that took on the Muso no Hitotachi. And what a magnificent blade it is. Perhaps I shall never reach that level of glory.
Actually, this is just a generic blade that I picked up during my travels in Liyue.
What?
What?
Forging and maintenance are both important for a blade, but they are not everything. This blade has traveled the land with me for many years, and we have formed a close bond during that time. Plus, in the moment that I most needed it, I received aid from another power. Skill, blade, determination, and desire. All these must be aligned in the practice of Ishin art. There is something else I must tell you. Though your maker may not have been aware, your ability to possess your own consciousness derived from the power of the Tatarigami. Tatarigami is a malevolence from the ancient past. It is the source of your mania and savagery. Though you tried to cooperate with me while I was wielding you, the part of you driven by Tatarigami was constantly trying to seize control of my body.
I sensed it, but I couldn't change it. It is an integral part of my consciousness.
I resisted its temptations because I wanted to save Amenoma Yuya. But I do not know whether you yourself have any intention of trying to fight it. I feel a great sense of regret for you. Since you embarked on a journey bound for a destination you were destined never to reach. The moment you embarked on this journey, you lost the only person who could have ever unleashed your true potential. And yet there was no way for you to turn your back on his ambition. You have known this for a long time. It is the true source of your despair.
He gave me everything. My life, my form, my consciousness, and purpose. How could I possibly deny him his wish? I said to him, "Do not worry. From here on, I shall forge your legacy." How could I go back on my word?
Aww.
I believe our bet is now settled. I have nothing further to say.
Where are you going, Kazuha?
He now has neither the ability nor the motivation to cause further harm. Let's give him some time to reflect on things.
Kazuha is legitimately a master at this point. Also. Two is better than one, guys.
When I touched the hilt for the first time, it's as if I was transported to a strange dimension. It was somewhere I've never been. A bladesmith lay quietly on the bed, his frail face barely visible under the moonlight. His breaths were weak, and his life near its end. A newly forged blade lay by his side, listening attentively to his final words.
Wow. That was the Blade's memory, wasn't it?
Indeed. While in exile in Snezhnaya, the bladesmith eventually learned the truth behind everything that had happened. The Ishin art had been dealt a devastating blow by the desertion of its best smiths. He spent the rest of his life in the forge, not to vent his frustration and hatred, but to atone for his actions. He felt intense regret at being tricked by the Fatui, but he could never again return to his homeland. His sole wish was to one day return his single, proudest creation back to the land of his birth. So he instructed this sentient blade to find a way back to Inazuma, no matter how long or how hard the journey. But he never wished to rival the gods. All he wanted to show was that they once shone brilliantly as blade and smith. that they were still worthy of being trusted.
So that's the true story. But after that, the blacksmith's intentions were worked by the Tatarigami, slowly turning his proud creation into the cursed blade of today.
Right. I believe the bladesmith might never have known that the power he worked with was that of the Tatarigami. The hatred within that power is what sent the blade down its ill-fated path. This blade has committed unforgivable atrocities, but only because it lost its original master. No one was there to correct its errors when it was losing its way.
Shame it's too late now.
Yes, it is too late. Time would not wait or stop because of his determination. While the world moved on, his ambition remained stubbornly stuck at that fleeting moment at the dawn of his journey. He seems to have calmed down, though. Let's go and check in.
Say, have you ever seen Kaitahara and Kazuha in the same room? Yes, they're both right here. I love you, Dreppo.
When I look back at the past, I can remember the day of my forging like it was just yesterday. I once told him that I would pay any price to fulfill his wishes. Such was the debt I owed to him for giving me the gift of consciousness. But darkness and slaughter numbed the mind. Over time, I lost sight of the difference between gratitude and grudge. Not only did I fail to fulfill his ambition, I also defiled it.
You are finally seeing reality clearly.
Since we agreed to the terms of the bet, I will honor the agreement and release Amenoma Yuya. But I still cannot bring myself to forsake his ambition. It is the entire purpose for my existence. So, may I ask you to help me fulfill the ambitions of myself and my creator?
Hey! Now you're adding yours into the mix, too? Jeez, don't push your luck, mister.
It has to be done in this order. At least hear what I have to say. And if you don't agree, I will still release Amenoma Yuya as promised. My physical form, as well as the knowledge I possess, should still be of some value to you.
His attitude has grown a lot milder. What do you think, Kazuha? Should we give him a chance?
Let's hear it.
Thank you all. When I was first forged, my maker was already terminally ill. He told me that he had wanted me to have the grandest opening battle. Alas, after that, he never rose from his sickbed again. Nor have I ever had the chance to prove myself in battle since. My fights were devoid of any noble meaning. They were merely the next step in my never-ending journey. The next in a long line of transgressions. You are a fine warrior. I would like to request your hand in battle and experience a true duel between samurai.
Oh? And who would be the opponent?
I will release Amenoma Yuya and restore his consciousness. Perhaps after that, you can convince him to commit to a fight with you. You must have plenty of reasons to both hate me and desire a good fight.
Understood. Then let's start by waking him up and seeing if he has the stamina and will to fight.
I see. He used my body to inflict harm on others. I utterly despise him and his actions. But since he stayed true to your agreement by releasing me, he must still have some remaining semblance of honor. If a duel can help to set this state of affairs in order, I am willing to put myself forward. I do not wish to be a mere victim in this story.
There's no need to worry. We'll vouch for your innocence to the Tenryu Commission.
Thanks for your help. Who knows how this would have ended without your intervention.
All right, then let's move on. More Ronin could appear at any moment. We can't stay here. In any case, for a final duel, I think we should aim for a greater sense of ceremony.
Where are we going? What are we doing? Oh, hey, 10 Primo Gems. I still don't have an answer to what Primo Gems actually do. Are we going? Oh, over there. Oh, well, sorry. Well, not Primo Gems actually do. What Primo Gems actually are. That was much more relaxed an occasion.
Yep, we still can't let our guard down. Even now, Paimon has a sneaking suspicion that Blade hasn't told us everything.
Shut up, Paimon.
Still, even if he's way past the point of redemption, it's hard not to feel a teensy bit sorry for him. Are you ready?
Ready? Okay. All right then. Successor of Ishin art, Kaedahara Kazuha.
Successor of Amenoma art, Amenoma Yuya.
Honored to cross blades with you.
It is my honor also.
Into the wind. One with nature. Time to go. Into the wind. One with nature.
Down we go.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night. Time to go. The wind knows me.
Come on.
Into the...
Thank you for the experience.
Oh, that must be terrifying.
Although he appears battered and broken. In your hands, it seems he's regained a glimmer of brilliance. His sense of savage cruelty has completely faded away. But that same sense of determination remains strong.
You also fought well. I'm sure he relished the experience. There are a few things that I shall leave him to tell you himself.
I must apologize to you for all that has transpired.
You need not seek my forgiveness. Nor do I have the right to forgive you on your victim's behalf. It is too late for all of that.
I do not wish for forgiveness. I only hope that you will see my transgressions as mine alone, and not let them stain the legacy of Ishin art. I strayed far from the straight and narrow path, but the Ishin art still has a worthy successor in Kaedahara Kazuha. I beseech you, please understand this.
Yes, I too trust Mr. Kaedahara to do the right thing.
Thank you, successor of Amenoma art.
This blade has also told me that he has another wish. He would like to visit the Amenoma smithy. Maybe we can go back there together.
What does he want to go there for?
I'm not sure, but I think that all this is about to come to an end.
Oh, yay. My mouth hurts.
Teamwork is trick! The wind knows me. Clouds high.
efforts.
Rain outlines your fate. When
Dawn, break forth!
Gosh, Sean, you did so well. Yep. Kaidahara Kazuha.
It's Yuya! You have returned.
I am sorry to have troubled you. It's all thanks to them that I was able to return safely.
A prized Ishin blade, turned weapon that controls the human mind. Considering their forging philosophy, this was indeed within the realm of possibility. This is a great pity. But I have some good news as well. Ryuji, from the Bonton Sango Detective Agency, tells me that they've found the missing Mr. Nagato.
Oh, thank gosh.
Is he okay?
Yes, badly wounded, but he will live. And now that Yuya is back, it seems
Yai
like
has
the
the last
final
name too,
ending to
Yai
the
Miko.
story is a happy one after all.
I think I know what you want to do.
What's wrong, Kazuha? Is the blade whispering in your ear again?
Yes. He said he wants to take control of me for a brief moment.
What? No way! Hasn't it learned its lesson?
He tells me that he's thought of another way to fulfill his maker's wish. And he assures me that he won't use my body for anything nefarious. I have decided to let him do it.
What?
Guess there's nothing we can say to change your mind, huh?
I trust your judgment.
Thank you. I will explain my reasons later. Okay. I am ready. Let us begin. Please, stay true to your promise.
My power is almost spent. Without him, my eventual demise is inevitable. But if I abandon the future to give everything I have in this moment, my physical form can be forged anew.
Everything? You mean...
Yes. The cost is my entire consciousness. You were right. There's nothing that I can accomplish now. But there's still a chance for Ishin art. Once remade, I will be a valuable resource for your studies. Ishin lives on, and its finest hour is yet to come. Even if I am not the one to prove its might to the Shogun, as long as it is an Ishin blade, crafted by Kaedehara hands, it will still fulfill his final wish. Thank you, son of the Kaedehara clan. Over the years, my real name has been forgotten by all. I'm ashamed to utter it, yet it remains strong in my mind. Kagotsurube Ishin. This name is now yours to keep.
Rest in peace.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
So, that's why he said it had to be done in that order. His consciousness will disappear forever after fulfilling the bladesmith's wish.
Kagotsurube Ishin. It was the first time I ever heard his name. It seems like deep down he disapproved of his own actions, and thus chose to bury this name deep within his heart. Only in the final moments, before his consciousness faded, was he willing to entrust it to another.
Seems like he really wanted to fulfill his maker's wish.
The same fervent ambition that gave him the motivation to keep going forward also fueled the stubborn determination that blinded him to the path ahead. Speaking for myself, I'd rather see him recognize and atone for his mistakes than see him punished for them.
The remnants of defeated gods are nothing to scoff at.
I understand. Perhaps this is a flaw in my personality. I've always been captivated by grand aspirations. Hearing his wish to rival the divine light touched something inside of me. Just as the sight of those who fought to repeal the Vision Hunt decree did. Your quest to face the gods and trace your sibling inspires me in the same way. After everything I've seen, perhaps these pursuits fascinate me a little more than they should.
Oh, Kazuha.
I will continue to support you from this point on. Know that you will have my assistance whenever you need it.
Thank you.
Wait, shouldn't we also go update Kujo Kamaji?
Oh, you're right. We need to tell him about the findings of our investigation. And it's also time to give him a response to the offer he made me.
Marie. Hey, Lux, how you doing? I'm doing all right, Lux. I am just finishing up some Genshin Impact. I had a root canal earlier on today, and I am in a lot of pain right at this given moment. Lux, do you play Genshin by chance? I do. Really? Did you end up getting Kazuha? Also, D-Luke's new costume is sexy. Ow.
You've returned. I hear that the issue has been resolved. Though this was a treacherous investigation indeed, we're most fortunate that no lives were lost. The Tenryou Commission has already attended to the danger at the warehouse. The investigation into Amanoma Yuya should conclude soon. I do not believe he will be charged with any crime.
Wow, you sure kept your ear to the ground.
Then we needn't recount all the details again. Now, as to your earlier offer, I wish to give you my answer. Please, take a look at this blade.
What's this?
Kagotsurube Ishin. A weapon crafted using a long-lost blade forging art of the Kaidahara clan. By means of a series of fortuitous events, I was able to recover and restore him. I also promised him that I will continue to study and pass on the secrets of Ishin art. And so, it looks like I will likely continue with my journey across the nations, learning more about this blade as I go.
I see. I understand.
The Kaidahara clan has always been a family of bladesmiths, so it is only proper for me to continue on this path. Were I to accept your goodwill, I may find myself embroiled in conflicts between the shogunate and Sangonomiya. That would not suit me.
You misunderstand. That was most certainly not our intent.
I am aware.
Kazuha is definitely worth pulling for.
Walking my own path.
Very well. I can understand. Then let's pretend this offer was never raised. However, if you should ever change your mind or find yourself in need of the Shogunate's assistance, please do not hesitate to inform me.
Great. Thank you for your generosity.
Where will you travel to next, Kazuha?
I'll probably take to the seas with Captain Beto again for now. As for my next destination, let's see where the wind takes me.
Wait, hold up a second. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? Not only is it bad, but it can't even be refined. Yeah, no. 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 But it looks good. It looks good. I really like the aesthetic, but man, is the weapon bad.
Off we go.
The sword is so bad. Also, look, check this out.
Adventure time. Yeah. Yeah. Let's light it up. Everybody stand back.
Into the wind. Fallen leaves. Adorn my...
Let me weave you up.
Ways to the wicked!
Teamwork is dreamwork.
One with nature. The wind knows me.
Ways to the wicked!
Combos in what manner? What do you mean by combos? Hey fish, how you doing?
One with nature. Clouds high. The birds...
Rain outlines your fate.
Everybody stand.
Into the wind. As one with wind and cloud.
No, my sword. Let me weave you up.
Ways to the wicked!
Let's go. Teamwork is dreamwork.
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
Rain cutter.
Dawn, break forth!
Oh, it's so nice. Really? Yeah, no, it's just knowing timing and such like that. Yikes, I'm sorry, fish. That's really early. And also, that's just how the game is supposed to be played. You're supposed to swap through all 4 of your characters and the like.
Off we go.
It's all about synergy between party members.
Everybody stand! One with nature. As one with wind and cloud.
Let me leave you alone.
Dawn, break forth!
Teamwork is strength! Into the wind.
Rain outlines your fate.
Gosh, I love the new Dilu costume. It looks so good. It sounds so good too. That's fair. How is Monster Hunter treating you? But man, I love Kazuha. He is so satisfying to play. That said, guys, I really need to take a break. My mouth is actually killing me. So I am going to take a streaming break. I will talk to you all later. So, yeah, hold on a second. Let's find a... Do we have enough for a raid target? We do. Let's find a person to raid. Shall we? Shall we? Shall we find someone to raid and pass the love over to? Let's see. Yeah, let's since we were talking about Monster Hunter, let's get Zametsa who's playing some Monster Hunter Rise. Does that sound good? Sound good? I'm not gonna promise I'll be back tomorrow. I really do think I need to take a break, because my mouth is on fire right now. I am in so much pain. So yeah, let's go give some love over to Zamed. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys for understanding that I am not doing well tonight, and I hope I will see you guys very soon. See you guys around. Bye.